The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online, a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users. On demand on iTunes, on demand on YouTube, on demand on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not, and where you are also encouraged to subscribe to my Twitter feed, Twitter.com/Gary Baumgarten, where you will be informed about all the important issues around the world, making yourself a better informed chatter here on Paltalk. And just by following me on Twitter, you are automatically registered to be the daily recipient, to qualify to be the daily recipient of a premium nickname on Paltalk. Yesterday, I neglected to choose someone. So today I have chosen two people who look great in their green dresses, Cry Diamonds and Cup of Love. Welcome to the Green Nick world of Paltalk. I hope you enjoy your premium account. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio. We're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. Before we get to our guests today, as you know, I have promised to keep the plight of the Iranian people, the struggle of the Iranian people in the forefront every single day, no matter what else we are discussing on this show. And so I want to tell you that a major opposition cleric will be leading the prayers tomorrow, the major Friday Sabbath prayers tomorrow. And Mustafa, the presidential candidate who believes that the election was stolen from him, will be in attendance as well. The world will be watching to see what is said, and the world will be watching to see what kind of a response there will be from the protesters, who are expected to come out in extremely large numbers. And the world will again wait to see how the regime will respond to that. Tensions are building once again in Iran. We are with the reformers in Iran, and we hope them the very best. We hope them Godspeed. Stick with the show to the end today, because today is the 40th anniversary of the launch of Apollo 11, the manned mission to the moon, and we will be bringing you restored video of that lunar landing at the end of the show, courtesy of NASA. You don't want to miss that. Well, everybody knows that the economy is in the dumps. And, you know, there are some business owners and managers who figure, well, we'll cut down on our workforce, and everybody understands why they must. Some of them do it with a degree of sensitivity to those who remain to pick up the slack. Others are saying quite openly and showing by their actions that they don't particularly care about their workforce, because they know that the pool of potential employees is a lot greater than the pool of potential jobs out there. So some people are starting to treat their employees with a degree of disrespect. I don't know if it's happened to you. It hasn't happened to me, but I do know people who have complained to me of this very problem. And, you know, I have friends who are at my stage of life who say, you know, Gary, I said at a certain point in time in my life, I will not work for a jerk. And I'll just walk away from a job. The job's not that important to me. I'll find another. But in this economy, I can't. And I feel I have no recourse. And so I never stopped to ask them, or thought to ask them, well, then how is that affecting your work production? Turns out, and, you know, it's probably human nature, that if you as a manager treat your employees with disrespect, your employees will no longer be loyal to you, and therefore they will be less productive. And therefore, what you have just done as a manager is counterproductive. That's only one of the issues of loyalty that are contained in this great new book, Why Loyalty Matters. We are so pleased to have the two principal authors, Timothy Keiningham and Lerzan Aksoy, with us here on News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. Timothy and Lerzan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. I hope I didn't butcher your name. I'm very sensitive to that because you can't imagine the number of people who mispronounce Baumgarten. It's just amazing, and I hope I pronounced your names correctly. Tell me, did I encapsulate one of the main points of your book fairly in my introduction?
Absolutely. The recession has been an example. How it's been handled is a very poor example of how managers need to treat their employees. Let's just be straight up. There's no question that if your company is undergoing serious financial, you can't survive, then you're going to have to cut costs. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. Right now, because of the way, you can't cut costs and then suddenly come up with multi-million-dollar bonuses and say, we feel your pain. It doesn't work like that. Right now, it's contaminated the way workers are feeling. A recent study by Ipsos found that 1 in 5 employees, is expressing that their loyalty to their employer has decreased. And that gets to 1 in 3 employees if their company has recently done downsizing, and this is for the survivors, or has had a pay freeze, either one. This is, while the attitude seems to be, well, they have nowhere else to go. And that's very short term because you're right, they're not running. If you want to say, well, they're loyal because they're staying because they're hostage. And hostaging is the worst thing possible because you mentally quit your job. The problem for that is that, by the way, this is affecting executives too. They have the same percentage saying that they're less loyal to their own employer because no one wants to be the axe man. It's just it's a bad place to play. And what it does is it destroys your productivity because people will treat it as just a way to make money. And that's the worst place to be.
Well, I know a guy who was so poorly treated at work that he literally got sick one day over the way, physically ill, over the way his supervisor was treating him. He ended up spending the afternoon in the men's room upchucking, and it got so bad that his coworkers were afraid that he was going to go home and get a gun and go postal. And they had to kind of calm him down. To me, guys, this kind of treatment of an individual borders on the inhumane.